Hey guys, I just finished making a paracord bracelet for my friend. I think it turned out great. It's Hey guys, I just finished making a paracord bracelet for my friend's birthday. I think it turned out great with the neon green and the white and stuff. I love that contrast, and I think she'll like it too. But it dawned on me, it's been a while since I posted a vid, so I figured that I'd show you how to make like the fused paracord bracelets and stuff to achieve that two-tone reversible look that I just absolutely love, as you can tell here. I love that look. So I'm going to make one today. It's going to be white and this, which I just purchased today from a local surplus store, and I kind of like the look of that. It's like, I don't know how to describe it, blue, and then there's like a light tan with a hint of white inside of it, and I think that'll look awesome with some white paracord as well. So first off, you want to get a smaller section for the inside. I think this is roughly 20 inches, and 20 inches is plenty. In fact, it's probably a little bit too much if you want to conserve your paracord. But what you do is you grab that, and you kind of roughly get the size of your wrist, which is right around there. And you can always adjust this after, but get a feel for it at first, and then you make an overhand knot like so. And right now I'm not really worried about the size of the bracelet because I can mess with that as I go on. So that's going to be your core, and again, if you want to get a rough size, you can. See, like this would be pretty good, but as you start making the cobra weave, it's going to get a little bit chunkier, so you're going to have to loosen that up. Next thing is you're going to have to cut two sections of paracord of your desire. I'm choosing the white and the blue. And normally a good measurement for this is about arm span. It seems to be a pretty good guide and gets you close. I mean, you will waste a little bit, but for the most part you'll be good. It's better to have a little bit too much than too little and finish the bracelet and you're like, crap, I should have had more. But since you have two-tone, you're going to need a little bit less. So what I do is I pull it out till about maybe elbow, and that gives me plenty to work with. Actually, I have a lot of waste on it, but I can use that waste to make these, so it's not a big deal for me. And next step is, since this is your center, you want the fusing, and I've struggled with this, like I keep forgetting every time I do it. You want the outside fuse to be the same color as your internal. If you're doing this completely different than all the rest of it doesn't matter. So what you do is pull out just about that much, and you're going to cut it like so. Discard those. And one thing that helps me get all of those fibers back in nicely is just whipping it. But considering how I'm kind of trapped between lights, cameras, and a desk thingy, table, whatever you want to call it, you can just kind of stretch it out like this, and that works pretty well. Alright, that will be the internal fuse. And now for the external fuse, do the same thing, pull out a little bit. And actually I'm going to do a little bit more since I'm not whipping it. And cut that. Next step, you're going to again get those threads back down there. Stretch it out or whip it, your choice. Derp. Okay, so this is one good thing about having extra, is because if you mess up, it's no biggie, just snip some more off. So let's take a little bit more this time. Now, taking too much will affect the looks of the final product. In your final product, if it's not perfect, which it's really hard to do that, what you'll get is you'll have like a little flat spot on it. And it's no biggie, but for people who are OCD like me, it kind of bothers me a little bit. As you can see, there's another one where there's that little flat spot. So next step, once you have both of the things mildly stripped, again, you want to figure out which one you want on the outside. Usually if you have two matching colors, the color of the internal, this one, white, you want that to be on the outside of your fuse. So a little trick that I've developed is to take a chopstick and just kind of do this. What that does is that will stretch it out. It's going to make that a lot easier to get this one inside. And you can fluff up the edges a little bit too. That's just going to help the fuse stick to itself. Okay, so once you have that one good, next step is to take your lighter and just kind of heat it up, and then you're going to want to pinch it, and the object is to shrink it so they can fit easier into the top of the fuse, and hopefully you'll do it a lot better than I will. So you take this end and you take your chopstick end and like rotate it out like that, and I just crushed it, so I gotta do it again. That. And then you're going to want to put this one into that one. And oh, that's nice. Where's my tip? Oh yeah, oh, that's a good one. Yeah, so it went in all the way that deep, and so that's a really good fuse. Now I just kind of brush this one up so that it's easier to burn and will melt. You don't want to do it too much because you do want to have a pretty strong burn on there and fuse. And then you take your lighter and burn around it and squeeze it. And this is one problem with having a white interior, is in order to make it match, you have to have the white exterior of the fuse, and then the flame kind of darkens this white, but that's a minor complaint in my eyes, surprisingly. And just kind of like this. It's probably a little bit too much squeeze. Make sure it's nice in there. And now your fuse is pretty much done. Okay, so next step is to take your bracelet, kind of lay it down, and you want to line it up good about center. But one trick that I have learned is to take your outside fuse and pull it to the right a little bit. And what this is going to do is it's going to hide the fuse inside itself. Hold up. There we go. This one will show it. So, not the best representation, but see how it's hidden by this? It's a lot harder to see. This one that I made was before I figured that out. So as you can see, it's quite obvious where the fuse is and where the seam is. So this one I don't like wearing on this side just because you can see that so obviously. But those, all three of those are practically reversible. So take your paracord, loop around this way, and this one that you're going to do like these is going to be your interior. So it's going to be like that. Let's do it so it's not confusing. So this, if I do this and then put this through, etc., that's going to make this on the inside. Where if I made the little S thingy with this would be on the inside. Okay. So kind of make an S like this. This would go over this, sorry about that, under the back, like so, and out through this one. And you don't have to worry about lining it up quite yet because you can still adjust it. So then you can tighten it. This first one is always the hardest one, so I can better show you how to do it once this is done. So then you can focus on adjusting your fuse in the knot like so, and you want your fuse to be kind of on the side so that this white will cover it and it'll be harder to see. You see that? Yep, you see that. So then once you have that good, then you can adjust to make your loop. And for rule of thumb, I usually use this bracelet because this was the best one I made. But to get a measurement on that, that is roughly 1.25 inches long. But again, I use this one, and this is kind of a slow process for me because this is so creased that it's kind of hard to see. Now, next step is to repeat the process. You can tighten this a little bit. That. And again, it's going to come over like this. The white one is going to go over top the blue, like so. It's going to go back, around, and through the blue. And that guy wants to come with it. Through the blue, like that. And then you tighten by pulling both. And you can adjust it further just to hide that fuse seam there. Over, around the world, and through. And you just repeat that step a bunch of times until you're down here. So one of the things I changed from my last video is, you saw how I had it hung on a banana clip to kind of keep it out and stretched out. That's a great way to begin. I don't need to do that anymore. But for beginners, that really helps because it helps straighten out this, and it kind of gives you an extra hand so you don't have to hold everything. Also, before, I really emphasize making that S and then actually feeding this through like that. Again, that's a great way to get the muscle memory down so that you can perfect your way. But as you can see, sometimes it can kind of twist up on you like that. Whereas, honestly, I did it wrong. Whereas doing it like this, where it's just back, and bringing it like this, I think is a lot faster, and there's less risk of it bunching up and twisting and stuff. So you want to occasionally, each time you do it, each time you tighten it down, and pull on this, make sure it's kind of even, there's no bunching, and admire your work. Okay, once you've continued to do the cobra weave all the way till roughly the edge, you can see how it fits. And if it doesn't fit well, which this one seems to fit pretty good actually, you can adjust it by fiddling with the overhand knot. If you want to make it longer, pull here and just kind of pull the knot, kind of work it like that. If you want to make it tighter, you pull there and then work the knot down. So, something like that, and then you want to continue to do the cobra weave until you're pretty close to the knot. I used to make bracelets where there's, I'd say maybe an inch, inch and a half, actually more than that, probably 1.5 to 2 inches of space in between the weave and the knot, and it didn't really look good. Like, you'd wear it and there'd be this big gaping spot of skin, flesh, and nastiness. So now I go a lot closer to the knot than I normally did, as you can see here. I think that is pretty good. And comparing it to my all-powerful and all-perfect bracelet, cough cough. I'd say they're about similar. So once you're there, again, retest it. Make sure it fits if you're making it for yourself. If not, hope and pray that it fits your person that you're making it for. I think that looks pretty good. Once you're finished, tighten down your knots, snug this up, and then you can do the cutting process. I like to leave a little bit extra in there. That way I can kind of fluff it up like this. You take your lighter, you can do this. Get it nice and hot, melt it, and then squeeze it down. See how that kind of slides over like that. Then do the same on the other side. Fluff up this end. Take your lighter. And this is why I like this kind of light a little bit better. It's because it's a little slower, gives you more time to react in case you're making a mistake. And also you can do that. Save your hand on that. Lastly, this one. Again, leave yourself a little bit. Fluff it up. And burn it. And voila. You have your paracord bracelet. Let's fuse together to make some sexiness. Yeah, this is how I make fashion statements. Put a bunch of feminine looking bracelets on my wrist. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's how you make the dual color paracord bracelets with fusing the two colors together. I hope you enjoyed the video, and hopefully you'll be able to make your own now. And be able to share it with other people so that other people will be able to make their own too. So thanks for watching. This is Beachhead, out.